You have all been lied to about creativity. We all have. And these lies are the main reason why a lot of people never reach their full creative potential. Today, I'm exposing some of the biggest myths that hold people back and showing you what actually works. So let's get right to it. Lie number one, you need inspiration to create. That is not true at all. The most successful creators, they do not sit around and wait to feel inspired to create. They work on a schedule. They create habits and systems for their creative pursuits, and they follow through. They show up and they follow through. Simple as that. And this is something I realized very late in life and in my creative endeavors. You do not need inspiration to create. And I know that a lot of these things I'm going to talk about sound pretty obvious now that you hear them, but in all reality, it's always like that. The biggest lessons, when you take them to heart and apply them in your life, in your business, whatever it may be, it feels obvious. It feels so simple. And you think to yourself, why didn't I realize this earlier? Or you might act out of ego and be like, oh, I already knew that, and then you just disregard it and you don't do and you don't follow it. But this is so true. You do not need inspiration to create. Action sparks inspiration, not the other way around. So if you just make it a habit to show up and do the best you can with what you have, you're gonna get inspired. It might take a while to get comfortable in that setting and in that way of working, but if you just show up continuously, consistently, you will get inspired and you will get a lot more work done than if you sit around and wait for inspiration to strike. Next, lie number two, only talented people succeed creatively. Big lie. The people who succeed, especially creatively, they are not the most talented. They are the ones who show up and do the work. That's why you hear a lot of artists or you see people on TV or whatever and you're like, I've heard better people, I've seen better people. Not to take anything away from these people, it takes a lot of work to become successful, and it has nothing to do with talent. Talent to me, I've actually thought a lot about this recently, and my take on it is pretty much that talent is when you have something that you think is so much fun and you love it so much that you can't resist doing it. You do it all the time, and you do it even when you don't really feel like it. And let's just say that someone is a really talented basketball player, but in reality, they just love basketball so much that they always carry a ball around and they always dribble and shoot thousands of shots every week. And that is why they become talented. So talent is really loving something so much that you just do it all the time. And if you don't want to do it all the time, if you wouldn't do it even if you didn't get paid a dime, even if it couldn't lead to you working, doing that thing, then it might not be for you. But every great artist, writer, musician, they started out not so great, me included, for sure. Even legends had to practice, so you gotta do the work and you gotta get those repetitions in. And if you love it, like I said, that will help tremendously. And this myth makes a lot of people quit even before they started, just because they think they're not good enough. If you love it, just put the work in, create habits, form a system, and just stick to it, and you will become great at what you do. Lie number 3, creative success is all about luck.
Big lie.
Nope.
The truth is really that hard work, consistency, and smart strategy is what creates success. Sure, luck might open a door or two, but if you're not prepared, it won't matter. You won't rise to the occasion, and you won't be able to perform the way you would have if you would have been prepared. Success is when preparation meets opportunity. But if you get the opportunity and you're not prepared, it won't matter. And honestly, the people who look lucky, who are considered lucky, they are the ones who have been put in that work in for years, staying consistent. And when they got the opportunity, they were prepared and they could act on it. Let me repeat, if you are not prepared, it won't matter if you get lucky, if you get an opportunity. So again, put the work in, get those reps in, stay consistent, and focus on the things you actually can control. Your output, your skill, and your consistency. If you focus on those three, output, skill, consistency, you will be unstoppable once those opportunities show up. And I might make another part, but this is actually the last one in this video. Lie number 4, creativity isn't a real job. You need a backup plan. Tell me, how many times have you heard that? The truth is, creative careers are 100% real and true, but you have to treat them like a real job. It's actually kind of weird that society pushes this idea that creative careers are not real jobs, because every single industry you know about relies on creatives. Whether it be designers, writers, musicians, content creators, illustrators, filmmakers, you name it. All businesses in all industries rely on creatives. So creative work is super important and super real. But we, the creators, need to treat it as such. We need to believe it ourselves before other people can believe it. So you have to treat your creative work as a real job. Be disciplined, create habits and create systems like I talked about earlier, and put the work in, put yourself out there, pump your chest up, take yourself seriously. Because that's actually the real problem, that people do not take their creativity seriously enough. A lot of people, I would say most people, actually treat their creative work as a hobby, and that leads to them not putting enough work in for it to actually become a career or a job. So take your creativity as seriously as any other career. Build skills, show up consistently, and treat it like a business, and watch what happens. So to wrap this up, the real truth about creativity, even though it feels like it because you create something out of nothing, creativity isn't magic, and it isn't reserved for the chosen few. It's a process, a skill, and a commitment. So here's a quick recap of the myths. You do not need inspiration to create. Talent isn't everything. Luck isn't a strategy, and creativity is a real job. Let's get it! And if you're serious about unlocking your full creative potential, start by questioning the beliefs that hold you back. Drop a comment and tell me, what's a creative myth you used to believe in? And let's talk about it. But now, let's go create. I'll be back soon. Much love.